Richard Cooper, who gets the jump into the first corner. So Richard Cooper, your early race leader. Dan Linford's in there. Number 1114, Dane Blackburn, moves into second place. And number 32, Pete Ward. Here they come back down the hill for the first time. And number 47, Richard Cooper with the start, trying to pull away. Up to second place now goes number 4, Dan Linford. Linford clear in second place. It's still incredibly close. Small gap at the front though for number 47, Richard Cooper. So Cooper starts to pull away. 32, Pete Ward having a look on the outside there of Dan Linford. They make their way through to the final corner. So number 47, Richard Cooper, leads them through on the first lap. Charges through. Second place for number 4, Dan Linford on his tail. Pete Ward, Ty Kinton, Simon Betts moves up to 5th place. Nathan Jury, Charlie Herons, Blake Ansell, Oliver Cookson and Gaz Roberts running up the top 10. And for the race leader, Ryan Johnson, the back end of the bike, snaking away under braking, really hard on the brakes into the bottom corner. And he is absolutely charging at the front. 53.536 on the first lap. Trying to pull away at the front now. We'll have a look at that gap. It was 1.4 seconds on the first lap. But Richard Cooper with the jump on the field, absolutely charging hard onto the brakes into the penultimate corner. Through the chicane they go. And Dan Linford, Pete Ward and Ty Kinton having a very close battle for second place. They go round the final corner. Linford still in second. Pete Ward and Ty Kinton third and fourth. And they make their way up towards Christmas corner. Linford has a glance over the shoulder, moves across slightly to block number 32, Pete Ward, who tries to have a look down the inside. Charlie Herons moves into 5th place. Good start for Herons with Blake Ansell up to 6th place. But Richard Cooper, 50 seconds, 0.681 last time round, really starting to break away from the rest of the field. And for Dan Linford in second place, it's all about dealing with the pressure from Pete Ward in third. Here we go, number 4 and 32. And round the outside goes Pete Ward, tries to have a look, but Linford shuts the doors. They make their way up towards the penultimate corner. So Richard Cooper goes through, and again the fastest lap of the race, 50.580. Richard Cooper, number 47, trying to really break the rest of the field. Now the battle on for second place, as Pete Ward tries to go down the inside. Oh, we got a tumble on the first corner. One rider going down, big style there, and certainly knocked the wind out of him. So yellow flags up here on the first corner. The rider's still down and I think may need some medical attention. But yellow flags on the line with number 47, Richard Cooper, still leading the way. Dan Linford goes up to second place. But the red flag has been shown. The red flag. So the race has been stopped. The rider going down just on the edge of the first corner, taking a hefty tumble. Though the rider is sat up now, fortunately, so hopefully it's nothing too serious. But the bike is on the racing line, so the race has been stopped in the interest of safety. The rider's just gathering now on the first corner. They've been stopped on the line. So the medical crew's just making their way down to the first corner to check if that rider's all right. Not able to identify that rider at the moment, but took a hefty tumble on that first corner. It's a very fast part of the track, and if you come off there, it is going to sting somewhat. So the rider's still down, although we did see him sitting up when they went to check out if he was all right. So just to recap, the Honda CRF 150 and Pit Bike Open race number 1 has been stopped. The rider that went down, I'm told, was John Ansell, who was running strongly in that race, but let's hope he's all right. He was just on the edge of the top 10, but yeah, we've just seen the bike being pushed back to the waiting area. Number 213, John Ansell, who went down on the first corner. Although I can see from my commentary point that the rider is starting to walk away. So it was Blake Ansell actually that went down. We just had a look, and it was Blake Ansell that dropped the bike, although I can see from my commentary point that he was seen to be walking away. So let's hope that's nothing too serious. And the problem is, of course, that's a very fast part of the track on that first corner. And even if the rider's essentially okay, it can really knock the wind out of the rider. So looks like Blake Ansell, they'll take him back just as a precaution back to the medical area to check he's alright. Let's hope, as you say, it's nothing serious. But Blake Ansell is in the ambulance at the moment. Although he is in the passenger seat of the ambulance as opposed to being laid out at the back. So it looks like he's okay. Checking out his visor, which came off in the crash as well. But of course, medical situations, they are very important, so they will check him out in the medical area, and hopefully we will see him a bit later on. But he is out of the race, so bad luck for Blake Ansell, who was running quite strongly in that race in the top 10. And as far as I'm aware, the race will be restarted in a few moments with the remaining 7 laps to be run. We've just seen Dane Blackburn getting a push start. The bike wouldn't fire up. Now these 4-stroke machines, these small 150s, they can be a bit difficult to fire up sometimes when they get hot. Don't forget, of course, these bikes have been running for 3 laps at race speed, so they really will have built up the temperature. So we're just going to keep our eye on the starter who's holding the green flag to see whether we start the race straight away or have a formation lap. Well, the green flag, no, they... So the riders get underway. This isn't a restart of the race so far. They're just going out on the formation lap. So the riders will go round and reline on the grid. Pit bike open and CRF 150 riders now on the formation lap for the restart. Now the race has been red flagged due to an accident involving Blake Ansell. I'm pleased to say they saw Blake Ansell walking to the ambulance and didn't look too seriously hurt when they took him away. So the race was just stopped in the interest of safety because he did hit the ground hard. But as we say, we'll check him out to the medical area and hopefully he'll be alright. Whilst the riders line up, I've got Matt Pearce, who's been busy down on the grid. He's up here in the commentary points, and we're just talking about the medics, and we always say without those sort of people we wouldn't have a race meeting, would we?
No, absolutely not. It's really important to make sure you have the right medical staff. We run underneath the IPD, which is the International Organisation for Drivers, so every one of our events we make sure we have full medical staff and ambulance on hand, and it's really important to make sure the riders have a good day, but do it as safely as possible.
Now, we don't want to talk about the condition of Blake Ansell, but we saw him being taken away in the ambulance. Hopefully that's more of a precaution than anything else.
Yeah, they'll just check him over and make sure he's okay.
So that sounds good. There's one rider left behind at the start, and I think that's Sophie McGinn gets away, and number 82 left behind Nick Alcock as well. But the rest of the field make their way through, and Richard Cooper picking up where he left off as they go into Christmas Corner with Dan Linfoot, Dane Blackburn, Pete Ward in there as well. They come down the hill for the first time. You can see the back end of that Honda 150 snaking away under braking. Very spectacular riding there from Richard Cooper. So just to clarify, this is a 7-lap race. We're just picking up from when the race was halted before. And we were just saying actually... We've just got a message actually from Mike Goldstar. Says, thank you RaceMed, worth your weight in gold. And that's a very true comment, of course. Without good medical staff we simply couldn't have a large-scale race meeting. So thanks to RaceMed, and let's hope that we don't see them again this afternoon, because when we say the medics have a quiet afternoon, that's always good news. So they're busy at work just checking that Blake Ansell's all right, and they essentially think he's okay. But back on track, and Richard Cooper again is trying to pull away from Dane Blackburn, who's gone through to second place, with number 4 Dan Linford going down the inside. Linford trying to fight back. Oh, they almost touch wheels in that penultimate corner, but Blackburn's clear in second. Round the outside goes Dan Linford, lining up for a pass. Oh, it's spectacular into the top corner as Dan Linford into the first corner, round the outside of Dane Blackburn. He had to be brave there, and he can certainly make the pass there, but you have got to be committed. And what a move there. Into second place goes Dan Linford, but Dane Blackburn is not giving up in third place. Pete Ward right behind him in fourth. But what a move there from Dan Linford. Let's see if Dane Blackburn can fight back. We've only got a few laps left in this race, of course, but this is all good news for Richard Cooper, of course, who is starting to break away at the front. As the battle for second starts to get a bit tasty, they start swapping paint, so to speak. This is all going to allow Richard Cooper to pull away. And again, he's getting faster and faster. 50 seconds, 0.248 last time round for Richard Cooper. And here we see Simon Betts, number 7. With Charlie Hearns in there as well. Ross Turner just on the edge of the top 10. Then we've got Gaz Roberts, Keir Armstrong, Andrew Whilton, Joe Goggins a bit further behind there as well. Richard Cooper continuing to pull away though. Last time round was the fastest lap of the race. 50.248 for Richard Cooper. They make their way up towards the final few corners now. Here comes the race leader, number 47. Absolutely flying out of the final corner. And the game goes faster. 50 seconds, 0.248 for Richard Cooper. Dan Linford now clear in second place, starting to pull away slightly from Pete Ward, who's gone through to third. Dane Blackburn dropping a place momentarily there, but gets past and through into third place, so it's still close as ever for third place. Dan Linford trying to pull away now from Dane Blackburn, who's coming under some pressure from Pete Ward. At the front though, Richard Cooper maintains the gap at the front. The battle on now for third place though. They make their way up towards the final few corners as, looking down the track, we've got one or two back markers. We've got a battle here between Sophie McGinn, number 33. So McGinn goes through, and the 82 of Nick Alcock. They're just a little bit further down from the race leader, Richard Cooper. Dan Linford still battling away for that second place. Whereas the back markers start to come into view. A bit of work to be done here now for Richard Cooper. The battle still well and truly on though for third place between Dane Blackburn. Oh, they almost touched bars there. It's getting close for third as 32. The machine has a look down the inside there. So Pete Ward really going toe-to-toe with Dane Blackburn for third place. Number 4 alone in second place now. Dan Linford has a glance over the shoulder. A little bit of breathing space between second and third as the race leader with 1 lap to go now. Richard Cooper crosses the line. Linford still in second. The battle on for third as round the outside goes number 32. Pete Ward having a really look at Dane Blackburn into the first corner, but not quite close enough to go for the pass. They go up towards Christmas corner for the final time. Cooper goes through leading. Linford second. Ward has a look down the inside of Blackburn, but not quite close enough to make the pass stick. They make their way back down the hill. And oh, this time he makes it stick. He had to be committed there though, but Pete Ward goes down the inside of Dane Blackburn into third place. And Blackburn trying to fight back with just a few more corners to go. Half a lap to go. Checkered flag now being readied for the race leader, number 47, Richard Cooper. Ran a great race so far and takes the win with a wheelie. So Richard Cooper, your race winner. Dan Linford in second, and oh, that was close for third though, but Pete Ward hustled across the line there by Dane Blackburn, who has to settle for fourth place. good race there for Ty Kinton, just crossed the line in 5th place. It's going to be close for 6th. But Charlie Herons goes through in 6th from Ross Turner. Green flag goes up for the CRF 150s, and away they go into the first corner. One rider left on the line, but they charge through, and it looks like a good start there. I think Pete Ward got away well and takes the lead going into Christmas corner. Dan Linford takes the lead of the CRF 150s right on his tail though, Pete Ward, and this looks like it's going to be another close 10 laps as down the inside goes Dane Blackburn, tries to go for 2nd place. Here they come up towards the finish line with Dan Linford trying to pull away at the front round the final corner. Right on his tail in 2nd place, number 32, Pete Ward, Dane Blackburn. All very, very close at the front. Past the line they go. Ty Kinton also involved in as well. Nathan Drury just a little bit further behind as well. But Dan Linford fighting his way through on the opening lap, trying to pull away at the front. Here come the CRF 150s up towards the final corner, and Dan Linford still leading the way, but it's very close behind him. They go charging past the finish line. Dane Blackburn in 2nd place, Ty Kinton, Richard Cooper in 4th, and those 3 riders all incredibly close. Richard Cooper, incidentally, setting the fastest lap of the race, 50.681, and he started to get involved in this battle for the lead. Charlie Herons, number 119, just a little bit further behind in 5th place. Ross Turner, Gaz Roberts, Nathan Drury, Oliver Cookson, Luke Bithell rounding out the top 10. And they make their way back towards us. Here we see Dan Linford just with that small gap at the front, starting to try and pull away, but coming through to 2nd place. Look out for number 32, Pete Ward, who is starting to close up on the race leader. They come charging around the final corner. Linford leads. Then it's Ward. Blackburn with 47. The machine of Richard Cooper right on his tail. Charlie Herons, number 119, still in there as well, fighting away in the midfield. But Dan Linford being closed on now by the race leader, and in fact the top 3 started to try and close up on him, but Linford has got that small advantage, about 1.5 seconds. And the rider's using all of the track on the exit there. The Honda CRF 150 possibly returning to its motocross roots, say, would save some of those riders. They're going right onto the curbing, onto the dust. Dan Linford still trying to pull away, but this could be good news for Linford because 2nd, 3rd and 4th are starting to fight a bit now. And if they start slowing each other down, that will allow Linford to pull away. So Dan Linford doing all he can to try and break away at the front. But Richard Cooper, the man to watch at the moment, fastest lap of the race once again, 50.332. Richard Cooper still there in 2nd place, and Cooper starting to close up on Linford slightly. So Linford leads, Cooper in 2nd, they come back down the hill. Pete Ward just behind in 3rd place, and Dane Blackburn also in there as well. They make their way back towards us, and now look out for the lead here because Richard Cooper is really starting to put the pressure on Dan Linford. Goes round the outside into the chicane, but Linford's got the inside line, the racing line, and holds on to the lead. But down the inside, look at this for a move out of nowhere goes Richard Cooper. Into the final corner they go, and a brave move there from Richard Cooper down the inside on the penultimate corner. What you would call an opportunistic move there. And Richard Cooper takes the lead, but they have got back markers further down the track. Here we see 82, Nick Alcock. So the leader's got to keep their nerve. There's Sophie McGinn on there as well, number 33, just a little bit further down. So the leaders have got to pick their way through the tail enders, who of course having a race of their own. They, of course, good sportsmanship. They will tend to, say, not block the leaders, but nonetheless they're not going to jump out the way, and you wouldn't really expect that either. Sophie McGinn holds her line. Number 47 goes through underneath the Richard Cooper with Dan Linfoot. And again, there was just a good sporting rider there, just holds her line, lets the leaders go through. She has got a race of her own, of course, so she's not obliged to jump out the way. People see we have the blue flag sometimes in motorsport. A little bit unfair, you would say, on some of the tail enders, because they are having a race of their own, especially when you get towards the midfield. They're all scrapping away as well. So you wouldn't say they're obliged to jump out the way, but good riding there from the tail enders as our leaders go through. Richard Cooper now starting to break away a bit from Dan Linfoot. Still there in second place. Number 32, your third place rider, Pete Ward, keeping the pressure on Dane Blackburn just a little bit further behind. We are approaching half distance in the CRF 150 and pit bike open race, and Richard Cooper really coming to the forefront now as another tail end just a little bit further down the field, coming round the final corner, charging through past the line. Then comes our race leader, number 47, Richard Cooper. Linfoot in second, Ward keeping the pressure on, and here's a pretty entertaining midfield duel with number 119, Charlie Herons, just a little bit further behind. And Herons really coming through the ranks. British Mini Bikes with Oliver Cookson right on his tail, Gaz Roberts, Joe Goggins. But Charlie Herons running very well. They've got one of the tail enders just nipping down the inside as they go up towards Christmas Corner. William Drury just crosses the line. Oh, as down the inside goes Oliver Cookson, but Charlie Herons shuts the door. Number 119, your race leader. 7 laps completed in the CRF 150 race. And getting quite entertaining in the midfield here. John Ansell just a little bit further ahead. Then it's Charlie Herons. Ross Turner in there as well as Richard Cooper goes through to complete another lap. 8 laps completed. Dan Linfoot still there from Pete Ward. And Richard Cooper really starting to charge away. But Charlie Herons, number 119, having a very close battle here with number 7 Oliver Cookson. Here they come up towards the final corner. This is the battle for, I believe, 6th place. Herons has a glance over the shoulder and sees Cookson on his tail. They go around the second corner, up towards Christmas Corner. We see number 94 trying to outbreak down the inside. That's Sam Jones, who's making his way through the field. Sam Jones running strongly in the top 10. There we see Charlie Herons and Oliver Cookson still having that great battle in the top 10. And they're not giving things up at all. Richard Cooper still charging away. He's starting to pick his way through some of the midfield runners now. With Charlie Herons and Oliver Cookson having a great little fight here. And there we see Charlie Herons get the front wheel up, out, really accelerating hard out of the corner. And these CRF 150s, converted motocross machines, of course, they do develop quite a bit of torque. Oh, looks like... Oh, had a bit of a midfield battle there. It looks like Richard Cooper still pulling away from Dan Linfoot. Pete Ward in 3rd place. Dane Blackburn and Ty Keaton, number 56, still there in 5th position. Last lap of the race now, though, for Richard Cooper. Here he comes, number 47, who's fought his way through, looking in great form, making his way up towards the finish line. And the checkered flag now been readied for number 47, comes round the final corner, and Richard Cooper pulls a very impressive wheelie over the line as he celebrates his win. Looks like we've lost Sam Jones on the final lap, dropping the bike just on the downhill section, but he's okay and will get back in the race. Dan Linfoot brings it home in 2nd place from Pete Ward. Ty Kinter, number 56, goes through. And there we see Sam Jones. Looks like he's alright, but as we were saying a bit earlier on, these bikes do get quite hot and they can be difficult to start. Oh, was really charging to the line there, Charlie Herons. That number 7 on the bike's actually 95, Ross Turner. But Charlie Herons brings it home in 5th position from Ross Turner. The rest of the top 10 making their way through.
Okay. You don't want to take points? Do you want to come have a chat? You could come have a chat. Could have a chat there. No. We've got Pete Ward. He came in 3rd in the CRF 150 class. How did today go?
Yeah, it's good. British Mini Bike Championship is an amazing event, and you guys do a great job organising it. And I've had a lot of fun. Yesterday was a bit cold, but today the sun's been out, and we've all had a good day, I think.
Yeah, it was difficult yesterday, wasn't it? So I was talking about earlier on, it's like someone turning a shower on and off every 5 minutes.
Yeah, the rain was coming down. It made it a little bit difficult for everyone, but you know, everyone stayed upright, I think, pretty much, and we've had a good day today as well. It's great riding around with the likes of Dan and Coop as well. You know, they're at the top of their game in BSB. So.
Quickly bring Dan in as well if possible. Let's hang about for a second, Pete. Dan Linfoot, thanks a lot for coming down. Really appreciate you coming down and spending the time with us. It's great to have people like yourself, Pete, and obviously Dan in the paddocks. It inspires the kids because obviously they look up to you. But back on to what's important. How did the day go?
Hey, like Pete said, loads of fun. You know, weather's been good, big entry, and loads of bikes in the 150 class. So that's what we want. You know, we want some good racing. I know Cooper went away a little bit, but what we want is to have a good battle and good fun, and you know, have good racing so that guys can watch. And yeah, like you say, hopefully if it inspires the young kids to ride in this way, then that's great. But you know, from my own point of view, it was just another weekend on the bike, a throttle in my hand, and come and have some fun with some mates, really, and enjoy it.
Yeah, we've had 25 CRF 150s on the grid today, and I've never seen a grid like that of CRF 150s. It sounds amazing. The sound that those bikes make is incredible, but it's great to see that the class is just growing and growing. I mean, every single meeting we get more and more bikes on the grid, and a lot of development from like Gloucester motorcycle specialists going into it, so the support structure's there. So how do you think the class is going to go the next couple of years?
I'd like to think it's going to get bigger. They're certainly the most advanced bikes and the fastest bikes out there. So the sooner you can get kids on stuff like that at this championship, the better, really. It's going to teach them a lot more for the future.
I want to say thank you very much for coming down. Glad you had a good day with the BMB. And back to Chris.